everyone, welcome to Online Study for You, one-step solution for all your placement needs. So guys, in this video, we are going to discuss most expected and asked questions in subject in QT exam, right? So make sure to watch the complete video. This video is going to very helpful for all the students who are having subject in QT of TCS in upcoming days. So do watch the complete video. Also do subscribe this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And a quick reminder is there, do check our Online Study for You app. This app has lots of material so that you can prepare, you can learn, and you can ace your placement exam. So make sure to check the app. Link for the app is given in the description itself. We at Online Study for You are giving so many results and so many students got placed by our course. So why not to be a part of our TCS NQT coding live crash course, which is going to start from 20th of Feb. The timing is 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. and it's going to be really helpful course for all the students who are having TCS NQT on 10th March. Start your preparation to be a part of renowned company, that is TCS. The price is just rupees 149 for top enrollments. So be a part before the price get increased. Happy learning. Let's start with the first question of the video. So here, in this question, we have to determine that which line of code has error, right? So this is the code given to us. So basically, let's analyze our code. So error can be of any type. It can be a syntax-based error, a logical error, semantic error. So make sure when you are getting these sort of questions, analyze your code properly. So here we have float a equal to 100.00. That's fine. Auto float a equal to 50.14. Then B. Then here we are printing A and B. And here we are incrementing the value of B, right? And again, after coming out of this bracket, here we are incrementing the value of A. And again, we are trying to print A and B. But that's a problem. See, B is a local variable as it has been initialized and it has been declared in this scope, right? But here we are trying to access that B here out of this scope, right? So there is a scope problem. So that's why this line of the code will give us an error, right? So that is the error in that question. I hope you understood. Let's see the next question. In this question, we have to determine the output of the following code. So this is the code given to us. Switch case is applying here. So value of I is 3. So switch 3. Then they are doing case 0 plus 1. Now most of you must be wondering that this will throw an error. But no, it won't throw any error. 0 plus 1 here simply means 1. Also 1 plus 2 simply means here 3, right? What is the value of I here? 3, right? So this case won't be matched. This case will be matched because 1 plus 2 is going to give us 3. So case 3 will be executed and TechZ will be the output that will be printed. So what is the output? TechZ, right? So that is the case. Make sure that you are aware of these small concepts because they will help you to score the marks. Let's see the next question. Here's the question, and basically we have to determine the error in that question. So this is our main function. Always remember that execution of program start from main function. So that is our main function. So we are initializing or basically declaring a variable m. The value that has been initialized at 2 is 1.23, and then we are calling a function abc. So that is that function. But see, there is some problem. The m is of float type, and we are providing this value m to a variable that is of integer type. So this is going to throw an error. So this is the error in that code, right? So options will be given to you accordingly. You can choose, right? So that is the case. The whole motive of this video is let you aware of the questions that are most expected and you can get questions on them. Let's see the next question. Oh, basically, so some students got questions regarding software engineering based on SDLC cycle also. So that's why in the video, we have included these questions as well. So the question says, which of the following model put more emphasis on testing? So the correct answer for this one is VB model. So before sitting there in the subject in QT test, make sure that you revise the concepts regarding SDLC. The models we have, for example, waterfall, prototype. Just go through the basic understanding of these models, because students are getting questions based on these models as well, based on SDLC cycle as well. So just revise them once. It is going to be very helpful for all of you. So the correct answer for this one is VB model. Next question is, which of the following are a phases of SDLC? So what are the phases of SDLC? Do you know that? If you know, just comment it down. Because see, if you will write something, it is, I'm sure that you will remember it forever. So write the phases that we do have in SDLC. So here we have requirement gathering. Obviously, it is one of the phases of SDLC. Maintenance is also one of the phases of SDLC. Also, when you are writing in the comment, make sure to write in a sequence, that which phase comes first, and after that, and after that. This is what you have to do. Analysis is also one of the phase, and testing is also one of the phase, right? So they all are correct. So that's why correct answer for this question is going to be all of the above, right? Let's see the next question. Okay, guys, they mostly ask questions for postfix expression, prefix expression, and all these. So that's why we have included this question. So let you aware about the conversion and all. So here the question says the postfix form of the expression a plus b into c into d minus e. So this is our expression. You have to determine the postfix form, right? What is the concept of postfix form? That operands will come first, and after then operator will come, right? So that is the concept for postfix. So basically we have to solve it in a manner following Bodmer's rule, right? So first brackets will be solved. So let's solve the brackets first. A plus b. So in postfix we will write it as ab plus. So first operands will come and then operator. Let it be like this. So multiplication has more precedence than subtraction. So we will have CD into, and then if you will subtract this CD into by E, so we are going to get CD into E minus, right? And this I'm writing like this only. Okay. So now, so when this is the case, let's see, multiplication and division both have same precedence. So in this case, you have to start solving from left side, right? So first what we will do, the brackets will be opened. So AB plus this whole will be multiplied to this whole, right? So this is going to give us AB plus CD into E minus into F divided by G. Now we have to solve this one. So this is going to give us AB plus CD into E minus F into divided by G. Now this division is remaining. So this is going to give us AB plus CD into E minus this and G and this, right? So this is the postfix form of the given expression, right? So this is infix expression was given to us and we have to determine the postfix one. So accordingly, the correct answer for this question is going to be option C, right? I hope you understood it now. Next question says that what data structure would you mostly likely see in non-recursive implementation of a recursive algorithm? Which one is that? I hope you all must be knowing that this is nothing but stack, right? Also, what is the data structure? This is a question for all of you. What is the data structure that we use for dynamic memory allocation? Just comment down the name of the data structure. Very famous data structure it is, and is used for various applications and for priority queue even. This is a kind of hint. Now I'm hoping that you will be able to tell the answer, so comment it down. Okay. Next question is, assuming int is of 4 bytes, what is the size of int ARR? 15. So basically the array ARR is having 15 elements, right? So they are asking that what is the size of this particular array, and they have provided that int is of 4 bytes. So 15 into 4, that is going to give us 60 bytes. So the correct answer for this one is option D. Don't think that you are going to get very difficult MCQ in TASIS exam. So don't worry about this. Just basic understanding they want to check. So you will definitely get most of the questions from this video or somehow related with them, right? So be sure about this. Don't worry. Next question is, what is the time complexity to insert a node based on key in a priority queue? So do you know that? Okay. So maybe a case. So whenever they are asking about time complexity, make sure to always consider the worst case as if they haven't mentioned. So here they haven't mentioned that which case they are asking for, best case, worst case, or any other case, or average case basically. So that's why just consider the worst case. So in worst case, what will happen, that you have to go through all the nodes, right? So in that case, what is going to be the time complexity? Big O of n, right? So that's why the correct answer is going to be option C. Make sure to revise the time complexities of important algorithms. Mainly, they will ask the questions from them, and it is going to be really helpful for you in interview as well. In interview also, they can ask you what is the time complexity of this algorithm or that algorithm. So make sure to revise them all. So for helping you out, here, I have included some important sorting algorithms and the time complexity associated with them. For example, bubble sort. The bubble sort worst complexity is big O n square, average case complexity is big O n square, and best case is big O of n. So make sure to revise them all. It is very, very important, right? For insertion sort, worst case is big O n square, average case is big O n square, best case is big O of n. For merge sort, it is big O of n log n, average case is big O of n log n, and best case is big O of n log n, right? Merge sort is based on which strategy? Divide and conquer, right? They may ask you, even in the interview itself, they may ask you that merge sort is based on which strategy, so divide and conquer. Even quick sort is also based on divide and conquer. So make sure that you are aware of this small concepts. That is very, very important. So for quick sort, worst case is big O n square. For average case, it is big O n log n, and best case is also big O n log n. I haven't included the time complexity for selection sort. So make sure to comment what is the worst case, average case, and best case time complexity for selection sort, right? So do comment it. Let's see the next question now. So that is our 10th question, that for finding a node in a dash at each stage, we ideally reduce the number of nodes. We have to check by half. So which tree is that? Binary tree, binary search tree, AVL, or binary heap tree? What is the correct answer for this question? You have to comment it. Now you must be wondering that ma'am is giving all the questions for homework. So guys, this is not the time to learn something new. This is the time to revise. I'm expecting that you guys are already aware of these small things. So do comment the answer for this one as well. Although I have already taken this, so the correct answer is binary search tree, right? So for finding a node in a binary search tree, at each stage, we ideally reduce the number of nodes. We have to check by half, right? So let's see the next question now. Of binary search tree starts by visiting the current node, then its child, left child, and then its right child. So for traversal, they are saying that what is the correct traversal that is going to be fit here? That first we are going to current node, that is root node, right? So first we are going to root node, then we are going to left child, right? And then we are going to the right child, right? So first root node, then left child, then right child. So what is the traversal? Guys, I have told you that traversal are very, very important. They have asked many times questions based on traversal. So the correct answer for this one is pre-order traversal. Pre-order traversal. So the option A is correct one. What is the post-order traversal? For post-order, we will first go to left child, then right child, and then root node, right? And for in order, it is, for in order traversal, we have first left, then root, and then right. Okay, so I hope you understood all the questions, and I hope these questions will help you. So make sure to subscribe this channel. Do install our online study for you app. Also, don't forget to check our live course, which is going to start from 20th of Feb. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.